Still in Parliament, First Deputy Speaker of Parliament Joseph Osei has directed the Table Office to expunge from the records that 118 MPs were present in the chamber yesterday. According to the Bekwai MP, the number captured in the record is in sharp contrast with the actual number of members who were counted to be present in the chamber. Parliament yesterday was forced to adjourn sitting abruptly after it was established that the 41 MPs in the chamber were insufficient to constitute a quorum to transact business. But yesterday's vote and proceedings captured 118 MPs as present. South Dai MP Roxanne Nelson Dafiamako raised the objection on the floor of the House. My colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson, who is in Parliament for us, joins us with more. Parker, what more do we need to know about this issue on the floor of Parliament?
That we can count 41 MPs in the chamber, and yet the vote and proceedings will capture 118 MPs present in the chamber. That is an absurdity. And so he has directed the Table Office to ensure that yesterday's votes and proceedings reflect the actual numbers in the chamber, which is 41. So at the time Parliament was adjourning sitting around 12:30 yesterday, there were only 41 MPs in the chamber and not 118. So it is expected that the Table Office will pick it up and quickly work on that to rectify the anomaly, because, you know, Parliament is a house of records. But away from that, there are concerns about what Parliament is doing with respect to members of Parliament who absent themselves from parliamentary sessions beyond the 15-day threshold. You know that Sarah Jostafor has been one for almost about 25 days. We understand that she went away without the Speaker's permission. And so the not-drawn member of Parliament, who is very consistent on this matter, raised the issue on the floor of the House and asked the leadership of the House to ensure that the petitions that are coming in from various Ghanaians, including the former member for Kumbungu, engages the attention of the House, because Parliament they put together. So he only appealed to the House to do so. But I must say that the majority leader, when he was responding to him, said, well, he cannot say or give him a response now because it has nothing to do with the business development of the House, but rather if he sees him in chamber or probably privately, he will be able to give him some answers of this. So these are some of the things that have come up from the floor of the House this morning.
What can you say about today's proceedings? Is the House able to attain quorum for business?
Well, Andy, you can see that the House has managed to get some of the members of Parliament in the chamber. And so you need 92 members to form a quorum before you can transact the business for the day. And if you look into the chamber, there are quite a number of MPs there, just around 90, 100 thereabouts. And so clearly, it goes to affirm the order 48, which talks about the quorum. And so they have a quorum number to transact business, and that is why they are here today, because they don't want what happened yesterday to happen to them. And Aisha, there is just another issue about the repetitions of motion before the House. Since January 25 this year, when Parliament resumed, all the motions tabled on the order paper for constitution hasn't been taken. And that has been a major cause of worry for some of the MPs. Amagoa raised a concern about the president's failure to attend to the House to deliver a State of the Nation address. Thankfully, I have it with me. Let me engage him briefly. Honorable, yes, you were concerned that President Nado, since the beginning of this year, has failed to address the state. Why? What?
The Constitution come and deliver a message of the State of the Nation address. We were told that the President was coming to give the State of the Nation address on the 3rd of this month. We were later told the following, a week to that day, that the plans had changed. Today's other paper was silent.
The business statement.
The business statement was silent on the President coming, which means that it's obvious he's not coming the next week. Now, the requirement is that at the beginning of the session of Parliament. And so I asked whether the President is failing to basically, address the requirement of the Constitution. That is very, very important.
And you've asked him to go to the Supreme Court if you want to change it.
But I'm saying that if it's something that we want to change, and of course the president knows what to do, but it's a constitutional requirement. And so the other alternative is that he should give us a date and come to Parliament and deliver a message.
We mean the beginning of the meeting, and that we are still within the meeting.
That's the typical chair answer. I was just meaning it.
So you don't accept the answer, you reject
the answer. What is the beginning of the sitting? The beginning of the sitting is this period we are in.
So what would you do?
Saying to you that because you can analyze, because we have 3 sessions, it can be the end of the beginning. I mean, just figure it out. The answer is that there has been a delay of the message of the state of the nation, and it's important that the president gives us a date and meet that constitutional requirement.
Is it breaching the Constitution?
I think it's clearly if he doesn't give us a period and this session ends, it means that at the beginning of this sitting of Parliament, the president has failed to deliver the message on the state of the nation address.
And what will happen then?
Well, I think it's a discussion we have to have. But we cannot just, this is the only document that basically guides our conduct as a country. And we can't choose and pick. We must respect the Constitution.
Thank you very much. So I shall start with the Member of Parliament for Elembele, Emmanuel Amakofu, who are asking the president to be in the chamber and brief members on the state of the nation. The Constitution is clear, Article 62, that at the beginning of the meeting, but I must say that the majority says that the beginning of the meeting doesn't necessarily mean that at the start of the meeting, but since we are still within the first meeting, the president can come within this meeting and address the state. So that has been the conversation. Today, essentially, some ministers have been scheduled to answer some questions. We know that the local government minister has been programmed to come and answer some questions, as well as the sanitation minister as well. And for next week, the majority leader himself has also been programmed to answer some urgent questions. So these are some of the conversations or the issues we will be looking at during the course of the day. If Parliament is able to answer all these questions for the ministers to give their respective answers.
And we'll definitely bring you our viewers updates from Parliament. Parker Wilson is our man in Parliament.